Hiya.
Hello.
See, now I'm going to laugh again. Welcome to the Geeky Girls Knit Podcast. I'm Cece, also known as Java Pearl.
I'm Dammy, also known as Dammy's Doodles.
And we're glad to have you today. Today is Wednesday. We're recording on the correct day, the 28th of September, 2016. And this is episode 211. I was about to say it's like Sherlock, but no, we have to wait 10 more episodes. And then it's 221. We should name the episode something about Sherlock when we get to 221. I totally have lost my train of thought. We'd like to say a big welcome back. We love you guys. To all our returning viewers, and a big hiya to any new viewers. Thanks for giving us a shot. We hope you enjoy the show. I know what my thought was. They announced what the first two episodes of Sherlock, the title names are going to be.
Oh.
But I can't remember what they were.
The Six Thatchers and the Lying Detective.
That's right. I can't wait. I love Sherlock. I'm going to have a rewatch before those come out. I think they're in January, maybe. Anyway, we would like to... No, I don't know what I'm saying. We've already said hello, right?
Yes.
Did I tell the new people? Thanks for giving us...
Welcome back.
Okay, so, and a big hiya to any new people. Thanks for giving us a shot. Hope you enjoy the show. I was going to say we're not usually this random, but we usually are. So. But Dammy, some people have introduced themselves in our Ravelry group this week. Why don't you give them a shout out?
Okay. Ruthie, who is Popal Backyard Farm from New York, and Melinda, who is Mick Barlog from California.
Welcome. We're glad to have you guys. Thanks for introducing yourselves. So Dammy, if somebody is... I just dropped a stitch. Somebody is not a member of our Ravelry group, what should they do and why?
You should join and introduce yourself in our introductions thread because you will get a shout out on our next episode and you will be able to participate in all our cows and giveaways.
That's right. I fixed the drop stitch just in case anybody was concerned. So we have a little bit of stuff to talk about this week. We have some very random yummies, but you know, we're just going to go with it. So we probably should get started. Here we go.
And now we're going to talk about what's on our needles.
So what is on your needles?
I am working on a design project designed by me. Ooh, yeah. This is my The Best Things Charlotte. It's on US 5, 3.75 millimeters. And the yarn I'm using right now is the Knitting Goddess 4-ply merino nylon sock in the Alexandrite colorway.
It's got it's a tonal, and so it's got some nice, fun variations. It's hard to see it on the camera, though. I don't know if you can see, like, the dark and the white spots. It's really pretty. Yeah. And so how is this going?
Good. It's getting bigger.
Okay, let me see, because, I mean, you can't show them, but you can show me. Oh, wow.
Okay, that's upside down.
That's so pretty. I really like it. I'm glad you decided to do it that way. So how much...
What way?
Instead of, because we talked about doing...
I know, but they're asking what way.
It's a secret. You can't know. This is part of our White Christmas collection. That'll be coming out in December. So how much bigger are you going to make it?
Until I run out of yarn.
So you're going to do the full 100 grams?
Yeah, I think there was more than 100 grams in it.
Oh, okay.
I think there...
But if you know, when people are knitting it after you release the pattern, they could stop at whatever point.
Mm-hmm.
Because, I mean, so is there a certain point because of these it has to stop?
Yeah, I'm going to stop at the end of the repeat.
But is it like, you know, sometimes, you know, you could stop on rounds 4, 6, or 12 or whatever? Is that like a possibility? Or would that make it look weird?
I don't know. I'm just going to stop at the end of a repeat.
Okay, but I'm saying like when you put it in the pattern.
I don't know.
Okay, we will have to talk about this. Because, you know, people might want to go till they are about to run out of yarn, but it may not be enough to do a full repeat. So that's what I'm asking is, like, would it be weird for it to stop at some other point? Or are there, like, several different rows it could stop at? And then it's going to have a knitted on border.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be beautiful. It already is beautiful. Great job. What else are you working on?
I didn't work at all on my wood pigeons of happiness.
Oh, then I should take those out of the show notes.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on just a second, and I will.
I mean, I took stitches off the needle and threaded yarn through them. But
You'd already done that last week.
Oh yeah, but I haven't like stuffed that one, nor have I cast on another one.
Okay.
Ugh.
I know you need more hours, don't you?
Yes.
Well, we're gonna
And
be
more
doing,
sleep and more coffee.
we're gonna be doing
more.
I know we're gonna be doing some traveling, so maybe you can get some knitting done while we're traveling. We'll see. Okay, so are you working on anything else?
No. So what are you working on?
Okay, well, I am working on my 10 stitch zigzag blanket, which is a pattern by Frankie Brown. It's on US 4's 3.5 mil needles, and the yarn that I'm using right now is Berry Colorful Yarnings, something with an S, saturated sock base in the Peacock's Revenge colorway. And the picture of it is of the in progress pictures on the screen right now because it's too big to show y'all. I think I have like maybe like 6 zigzags left of this stripe. So fingers crossed I will have started a new stripe next week. So, but I'm really enjoying it. Even though it's going to be 2019 before it's done. Okay, I need to tell you something. I am purloining, which is a segment that the Gilmore Girls podcast do, which is a fabulous mother-daughter podcast, and if you don't listen to it, you totally should. So they have a segment called Purloined, where they purloin segments from other podcasts. So I'm purloining their segment, and then I am using the purloin segment to purloin from Opera Jo of Stitching the High Notes, her tea time segment, to tell you what tea I'm drinking right now. And yes, I know the irony of drinking tea from my She Drinks More Coffee Than a Gilmore mug. But I am drinking, let's see if I can show you the tag, Twinings Chai. It doesn't say it.
Pumpkin spice.
I know, but it doesn't say pumpkin spice on it, but it is. Twinings Chai Pumpkin Spice.
Careful. You're
And it's really yummy. And I love it. But you know I love all things pumpkin. All things pumpkin. What else am I working on? I am working on my Epic Haven Poncho, which is a pattern by Holly Yo. I'm on US 8's 5 mil needles. And the colors I'm using right now, I believe this is Travel Knitter Tanami 4-ply Camel Silk in the Stromboli colorway. And this, I think, is I think this is the Niche Yarn 100% Merino Sock in the Gunpowder Trees and Plot colorway. I think that is correct. They're all in the show notes and on my project page. I said last week that I was thinking if I could try to finish this by the end of the month, but I don't think that's going to happen. Before I started this segment that I'm currently on, and I'm going to show it to you in just a minute, when I finished the last section, I was at 69% done. So when I finish this section, which is when I finish with this small little ball of yarn, so probably we'll get to that tonight, I'll be 75% done. But I don't know that I can get it done in the next few days. But so I'm going to reassess my goal and try to finish before we leave on our epic surprise birthday trip.
Hey.
Which we have not told y'all about. We're going someplace surprise for our birthdays. I suspect that you might have guessed where it is. I know, and the hubs know where we're going. She doesn't know, although I suspect she does know. So we're leaving out on Wednesday the 12th of October. So that will change when we record the podcast that week, but we'll announce that next week because we still have 2 weeks before we leave. And we're in this secret place until Friday to do secret fun things. And then we're going to my bestie's house. We're going to take the train to my bestie's house because they moved. I'm so sad. But her birthday, my bestie Katie, is also in October. And so we're having a birthday celebration with them, which I should have waited to tell you this until I showed you my finished object. But so I'm going to try to have this done before we go on the epic surprise birthday trip. So I think last week I was maybe in this section, maybe right here. And so I did this full section, and now I'm doing this section. So you hold two strands of yarn together, but you transition. So like this red I've been using for these 3 segments. Does that make sense? Okay, I hope so, because I feel like I'm like rambling. So there's that. And then, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. You know why? I think some of them might suspect. I cast on my I Wish I Lived in Stars Hollow socks. So I'm using my French Vanilla Cappuccino sock pattern for this. I'm on US 1.5 2.5 mil needles, and the yarn is Gnome Acres House Gnome Base in the Stars Hollow colorway, and I am on the heel of the first sock. How fabulous is that? Can you see the colors? The orange is brighter. That's more true of the orange. But then there's this burgundy and this green, and it's not self-striping, but it is really kind of giving it a striped look. I love it so much. This yarn is so soft, and it's just a 75-25 superwash merino nylon base, but it has been so soft to work with. I do believe this is the first time I've ever knit with Gnome Acres. I'm pretty sure. I think you have some mini skeins that people have sent, but I don't think, I'm pretty sure that this is the first time I've knit with it, and it's amazing. That's everything on my needles. I know, I totally dragged out that segment. But you know, sometimes things just come into your head and you just have to say them. I guess I don't technically have to say them, but I did, so that's just how it is. All right, well, I have some finished projects to share with you, so we should move on to the next segment.
And now we're going to talk about her finished projects.
I have three, although technically one is not a knitting finished project, but I'm going to show you anyway. So first up, as I alluded to in the last segment, I finished my Betsy Katie's birthday socks. Aren't they fabulous? I love this yarn. Oh, are you like smelling them? What are you doing? Oh, you're okay. Okay. This is also my French Vanilla Cappuccino sock pattern. This is on US 1.5 2.5 mil needles, and the yarn is Zwerger Garn Opal Sweet and Spicy in the chili colorway, which I still don't know why this is considered chili. I would call it like
chocolate covered strawberry.
Exactly what I was about to say. We have that.
We should make chocolate covered strawberries.
Oh my god.
Do you think we could do that with Katie? Because that would be a lot less difficult than all the recipes I asked her about.
But also, I do believe that Sainsbury's Bakery does them.
Oh, but it would be more fun to make them. Get the experience.
I just want to eat them. I just do. You can make them. I'll eat them. So there they are. They are not...
You have no respect for the process.
I do. I'm not a cook. I'm not a baker.
It's not cooking. It's melted chocolate, and then you dip strawberries in it, and then you refrigerate them.
I don't do stuff in the kitchen.
You can do it with bananas too, but we put them in the freezer. It was good.
They're not matchy-matchy, which is fine. And Katie doesn't care either. Although, just a short little funny is that, so I make birthday socks not only for my bestie Katie, but also for her husband Jeremy and her 2 little boys Noah and Izzy. And she sent me a message the other day that they were somewhere, and
IKEA.
Oh, that's right, they were at IKEA shopping, and she had on socks that I had knit her, and Izzy, who is
almost 2,
2 in January, had on socks that I had knit, and he was going around to everyone going, "Look, Cece socks, Cece socks." And then he would go to Katie and like point and make the people look and see her CC socks. So now these are affectionately known as hashtag CC socks. I tagged it that way even on Instagram. Have I told you this story before? Because I feel like I have. I don't know. I repeat myself. And then here's this week's preemie hat. And it's so pretty. I love these colors together. This is number 39 for the year. And this is from my free top-down preemie hat pattern on Ravelry. I did this on US 6's 4mm needles. And the yarn is Blacker Yarns Tamar DK in the Red River colorway. And Lanatium Ex Machina Merino DK Twist in the Cherry Cabaret colorway. There it is. Fun. And then my non-knitting FO. If you watched last week's episode, you know that when the hubs and I went on our 19th anniversary trip, I saw this cute little cross-stitch kit, and I think it has been like 11 years at least since I've cross-stitched. I know at least 10, but possibly 11. But this was so cute, and so I picked it up, and so then I just decided over the weekend to do it, and I finished it in 2 days, interspersed with knitting. So this is my sheepy cross-stitch card. It's so cute. So it's going to go up on the wall, except for I'm going to put one of the hubs heavy books on top of it, because I mean, if you were giving it as a card, you know, you would open it and write inside, but since I'm not and I'm going to hang it on the wall, I like put some tape in there to sandwich it closed, but it needs like a heavy book on top of it to set it. So there's my sheepy. Because, hello, I'm a knitter. Sheep. And that's everything. All right, let's move on to the next segment. And now it's time for our favorite part of the show. Yummies. What are yummies, Dammy?
Yummies are our current favorite things we like, things we want to talk to you about.
Yummies. Which that T is. So we got some new t-shirts over the weekend. We were in a shop getting something else, and then we saw these t-shirts, and Dammy and I had just picked one each, and then got to the counter, and they were like, if you buy 2 t-shirts, you get the third one free. And so I went and picked another one. So Dammy and I have already worn 2 of them. So we're going to put pictures on the screen. So do you want to tell them about the one you got?
Sure, it's Kitty Avengers.
Which one is your favorite?
I don't know. They're all pretty cute.
I like is it Agent Phil Mousen? Pawson. That one's cute.
Oh, cute.
They are really cute.
I wish there was an X-Men one, but there's not.
Oh, that'd be cool. So, do you know who the artist is?
No.
That would be interesting to find to hunt down the artist and see if maybe they have one in progress or something, because that'd be really cool.
Well, I think it's a really old piece of art, like from 2012 when Avengers came out.
Oh, okay. 2012 is not that long ago, sweetheart.
It's 4 years ago, so it's a 4-year-old piece of art.
Almost 25% of your life.
Thank you.
I don't know, did I say this last week that I discovered while we were gone on our trip that I've been married for half my life?
No, you said that to me.
Okay. Because the hubs and I, so I was 19 when the hubs and I got married. I turned 20 2 weeks to the day after we got married, but we had our 19th anniversary, so I've been married for half of my life. Anyway, so the shirt that I got, what are you making a face for?
You're just like, so I've been married for half my life. Anyway.
Okay, so the bonus t-shirt that I got for free is Hogwarts alumni. Represent #Hufflepuff. See, I didn't have to ask you this time. I always forget what house I'm in. But I checked my Patronus. I don't remember which kind, but I got a kitty. Is my Patronus.
Nibelung cat.
A Nibelung cat. And it was like a very intelligent cat. Because I like Wikipedia did it.
Googled it.
No, I Wikipedia.
You Googled it and then went to Wikipedia.
Okay, but I still Wikipedia did. I like to make, what are those called?
Nouns, verbs.
Yeah, I like to make nouns into verbs. Like I IMDb'd it or I Googled it.
Googled is a verb, but the other ones are not recognized verbs.
Hey, I recognize them. Anyway, I got Hogwarts alumni. And then I'm going to try to show you this because I'm wearing it today. I got soft kitty, warm kitty, little ball of fur. Happy kitty, sleepy kitty, purr, purr, purr. From The Big Bang Theory. I love when Penny sings it to him, to Sheldon. So, yes, yummy new t-shirts. So, I posted about this a little bit on Instagram a few weeks ago because so this is another Whole30, like, what do they call it? Non-scale victory. Because it's not, it's something that positive has happened out of Whole30 that is not like, oh, I lost 52 pounds. So, okay. The Hubs on our 10th anniversary bought me a new wedding ring. And
that was 9 years ago.
That was 9 years ago. And since I lost so much weight, it didn't fit anymore. And I had bought a spacer to put on it, but it was really annoying. The spacer was. So I just was like, I'm just going to get it resized. So I picked it up yesterday. And I don't think it has been this shiny since, like, he bought it. But they did such a good job resizing it. So that is one of my yummies this week. And it was so weird not to have it. I actually went and bought just a cheapy band and wore it while it was getting resized because it was driving me crazy not to have something on. And then our other yummies for this week, I'm like kind of obsessed with headbands. You may have seen that on Instagram. Because, yeah. But, so Claire's, which is like a jewelry and accessory store, was having buy 3, get 3 for free. So I bought Dammy 3 headbands. I got her.
They're bandanas.
Yeah, they're bandana. Can you bend your head down? See? Bandana style. And then I got me 3 headbands. Actually, I got 4 because one of them was a twofer. But this is the first time I've worn this one. The plaid. Oh, it's got like wire in it, so you could like make it like bunny ears. I didn't know it had wire in it. Feel it.
I don't want to feel it.
It's got wire in it, so you can like, you could make it like spirally. Oh, look at that. How fun. Okay. The simple things amuse me. I got some other ones too. I got a stripe one because I'm also hashtag stripe obsessed right now. Stripe love. These things just make me happy. Okay, do we have any other yummies?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. I was so sure that Yummies was going to be so short this week, and now we've talked for over 6.5 minutes about shirts and my ring and headbands. Yeah. So let us talk about hashtag, speaking of all the hashtags, hashtag lover. I love hashtags. That might have to be the title.
You love hashtags?
I love hashtags. I hashtag love hashtags. Hashtag I love
Stop.
hashtags. Hashtags.
Stop.
Hashtag Geeky Crafty Pad. Why don't you tell us what this is?
It stands for Geeky Girls Knit Crafty Photo a Day Challenge. We have a list of prompts for each month. So you take a look at the prompt for that day, take a picture related to it, and post it anywhere you like. But we pick our favorites from Instagram.
That's right. And we also released the October list yesterday. Mm-hmm. And it is all about autumnal Halloween-y stuff. And birthday celebrations. Because, hello, both of our birthdays are in October. Mine is a week from yesterday, the 4th. And yours is
9 days after that.
It's 2 weeks from tomorrow, the 13th.
Oh.
Yeah. Yep. Yes. What are we about to show them?
2 photos from us that we liked and 5 photos from other people that we liked.
So here come the photos. So those were our favorite photos. Great job, everybody. It's never too late to join in. You just take a look at the prompts list. Today's prompt is lines. You interpret it however you want, whether it is crafty related or not. You get bonus points that count for nothing, but bonus points if you include a kitty. Because then you can hashtag it, hashtag GGK kitty pad. Because Dammy loves the kitties. I love kitties too, but she's like all about the kitty pictures. And then you post it, especially on Instagram, because that's where we choose our favorites. And make sure you include the hashtag GGK Crafty Pad, because that's how we find your photos. And yours might get chosen next week. All right. We have a couple of events that we're attending soonly. So why don't you start and tell them what we're attending?
We will be vending at the Yarnporium in London on Saturday the 5th and Sunday the 6th of November with Lola of Third Vault Yarns and Sam of Knit Run Dig Project Bags.
That is correct. This is an event hosted by the lovely Allie and Rachel from Yarn in the City. And then, you know, you could go, so you do that. Then you do some sightseeing in and around London. I recommend Stonehenge. It's awesome. And then you come to our knitting retreat, the Geeky Puffin Knitpalooza, which is being held in Farnham, England this year. And it's from Thursday the 10th of November through Sunday the 13th of November. There are still some spots if you're interested in attending. If you can't attend the whole thing, but want to take a class or 3, you can still sign up for those. We have the vendor market, which we've updated the list of vendors because one had to back out, but then we have a new one. So, and it will be open to the public in the afternoon starting at 1:30 for £3 or a knit or crochet item to donate to charity. But if you would like to get into the vendor market in the morning, so our attendees get to go in from 9, but you could buy a golden ticket for £10 and you can get in at 10. So you would get early access before all the rest of the public comes in the afternoon. Plus you also get a special Geeky Puffin Knitpalooza goodie. So if you want to do any of that, sign up for the retreat, sign up for a class or classes, or get a golden ticket to get into the vendor market early, go to
geekypuffinknitpalooza.com.
And all the details are there. We are also still looking for some more businesses in the fiber arts community. I heard that on a podcast this week. I've been saying like fiber world, but I like the fiber arts community. So if you have a business in the fiber arts community and would like to donate a door prize and or something for our goodie bags, you can email us at
geekypuffinknitpalooza@gmail.com
or PM me, Java Pearl on Ravelry, and we'd be happy to support your business and get it out there to our lovely attendees so that they can shop your business too. All right, well, we have quite a bit of stuff to talk about in the next segment, so we should move on.
And now we're going to talk about what we're reading and watching.
So what are you reading?
I am still reading Peter Pan by J.M. Barrie, and I haven't gotten very far in it this week either.
Well, you have been prepping for the SAT on Saturday.
Yeah.
So y'all, if you're the praying kind, or if you're not, send some good thoughts and vibes to Dammy, prayers or good thoughts and vibes for Dammy for Saturday, this Saturday, the 1st of October, as she takes the SAT in the morning. You're going to do great.
Early morning.
Yes.
Very early morning.
You are going to do great. I know it.
Very, very early.
Well, you did a practice one this past week, and you did really well on it.
Yeah.
So, I have faith.
Very early morning.
You can do it. You can take coffee with you to drink on the way. Okay, are you reading anything else?
No.
All right, well, I have 30 zillion books to tell you about. So So I finished reading The Fringe Hours, Making Time for You by Jessica N. Turner. And it was pretty good. It's about finding time as a mom to do things for yourself. So, and then since I finished that, I started reading Steadfast Love, The Response of God to the Cries of Our Heart by Lauren Chandler. And I've just started it. I think I've only read the intro in the first chapter. But I'm liking it so far. So, and then I am continuing to read A Discovery of Witches by Deborah Harkness with the All Souls Real-Time Reading Companion. So I'm reading it in real time as it happens in September and October. So, and I'm actually rereading A Discovery of Witches because I read that during my surgery and recovery. I finished reading Pride and Prejudice and Zombies by Jane Austen and Seth Grahame-Smith.
Mm-hmm.
So ridiculous.
Yeah.
So ridiculous. But funny in a ridiculous way. So now we can watch the movie with Matt Smith in it. We just haven't done that yet. I read from Kindle Unlimited, I read the Fallen Empire series by Lindsay Buroker. Is that how you would say that?
Yeah.
So I read books 1 through 6. This really reminded me of like Firefly because it's on a spaceship and they end up having to be criminals to try to do something to save the universe. But it's like all these different unique personality characters on the spaceship, and I think book 7 comes out sometime in October. So I enjoyed them. There is minor adult content, especially like in the later ones. But I would be fine with Dammy reading them if they interested her. So, but just to give you a heads up. And then last night I finished reading The Eyre Affair, Eyre, E-Y-R-E, by Jasper Fforde.
Is it about Jane Eyre?
It is. So this is a series of books called the Thursday Next series. And she is a literary detective in England during a time when all of England is literary obsessed. And like you can like go into like the stories or the poems or whatever, but like this bad guy has done that and has like totally messed up things. And so she's having to like be a detective and figure all this out. And there is some of the I think there was werewolves, but it wasn't like a main part of the story. It was kind of a side type thing.
Werewolves, no big deal.
Yeah, it was. I kept going back and forth, going, wait, what? Yeah, so it was. I think I must have gotten it when it was like a on sale one because it's not Kindle Unlimited, and the rest of the books in the series are a little more than I prefer to pay. So I might have to see if like the library has them or not. But I don't know. It was like they rewrote the end of Jane Eyre.
What happened?
Jane and
Mr. Rochester.
Yeah, like got married and lived happily ever after and had a family.
That's kind of what happens at the end of Jane Eyre.
No. She she leaves and goes to be with her cousins, and she's deciding whether to go to India.
Yes, but that's not the very end of the book.
It's not? That's what I thought that was the end.
No. She, after St. John, is just like, you must come to India with me.
Yeah.
And she's just like, no thanks. And then she hears Mr. Rochester calling to her. Like, not like literally hears him, but it's like...
Okay, well, I totally forgot all this.
And then she goes back to him.
Okay,
Mr. Rochester.
I totally forgot all this. But their entire house got burnt down? Was that in it? Okay, I knew there was the fire. See, and now I'm like all confusing myself with things. I know some of you Jane Eyre purists are going, Cece, how could you forget this? Well, I'll tell you how. Because I read 3 zillion books every year. I think I have read around 250 books this year.
That's too many.
So then, obviously, all the plots get jumbled. And then the other book that I'm reading, I did start another book last night, but I haven't read far enough to know whether to tell you about it or not. But in my book club that I'm in, we are reading The Prime of Miss Jean Brodie by Muriel Spark. We've read the first 2 chapters. It's not a long book. It's only about 100 pages long. But So it's about this school teacher who's in the prime of her life, which is kind of sad because the prime of her life is teaching little girls in a school, and she has no friends and no family, and these little 10-year-old girls are her confidants. And so she's like telling them all these things that I'm like, I don't think I would want a school teacher talking to my 10-year-old about this. Like about her love life and stuff. So, I mean, I'm going to finish reading it because, hello, we're reading it for book club. But, yeah, but I wasn't the only one last night that was like, at book club, that was like, okay, wait, what? But it's set here in Edinburgh. That is the cool thing. And so, like, the school is, like, south of the Meadows. And
What school is it? Is it like a fictional school?
It's a fictional school, but it's based on a real school that I cannot think of the name of right now. Somebody told us, one of the ladies told us last night.
Boromir?
No.
Lynn Lithgow.
No. It was like...
Harriet's?
No, it's a private school.
George Harriet's is a private school.
Oh, that might be it.
I passed that.
But anyway, but then it was like, it's also talking about like, they didn't want to go to Grassmarket because that was like the seedy bad part of town.
Oh yeah, it's so bad.
Which now, no, it's not. It's like, hello, it costs millions of pounds to buy a place in the Grassmarket or whatever.
Gillespie's?
That might be it. See, I don't know.
Gillespie's or George Harriet's?
I think it was something with a G. But I could be totally wrong. Apparently, though, there is a mural somewhere, I guess, in the Meadows area of this book with like a quote. So it's like this painted mural. If you look at Rebecca's Instagram, she posted a picture of it either yesterday or today. So, yeah, so that's what we're reading right now for book club. Good grief, we're already 9 minutes in and we've only talked about books. Told you this was going to be a long segment. Okay, we watched some movies this week.
Yes.
Should I start or should you?
You.
We rewatched for the 37 zillionth time Beauty and the Beast. Ever just the same, ever a surprise, ever... I adore Beauty and the Beast. It's my favorite Disney movie. But why did we watch it? Because it was the anniversary.
Yes.
The 25th anniversary. Beauty and the Beast. And now, ever since we watched it, I've been like randomly singing the songs, or they've been randomly in my head. Okay, but we watched another movie, so why don't you tell us about it?
X-Men Apocalypse.
So spoiler if you haven't seen it, okay?
So what did you think of X-Men Apocalypse?
I thought it was pretty good. I think the Hubs didn't think it was like...
Top notch.
He didn't think it was bad, but he was just not.
I guess you could say it wasn't first in its class.
Ching. No, I thought it was pretty good. Except I kept getting confused as to who was who.
What do you mean?
Like the characters, because like I'm so used to like the one with Patrick Stewart and everybody in it, and I know who those characters are, but I was just like, I kept going, now wait, which one is that?
Well, like which one?
All of them. I mean, I know who Xavier was, and I knew who Magneto was, but and I knew who what's her name from Hunger Games. I knew who Mystique was, but the rest of them I was like, well, and I knew who Wolverine was, obviously, because it was played by our normal actor. What's his name? Hugh Jackman. He's in this as a cameo. And there's some really interesting trivia. If you IMDb'd it, and looked in the spoilers of the trivia about the timeline and how it was that he was like in this. It's really interesting. You should go read it. Yeah, but the rest of them, I was just like, no, wait, who is that? Oh, and I knew the guy that he could turn blue.
Oh, Beast.
Yeah, what's it?
Hank.
Hank. Yeah, I knew who that was.
Hank McCoy. He's the real McCoy.
Yeah. So, but okay. So, what did you think of it now that I've like told you I could? But you guys know I don't remember names at all.
I liked it. I liked seeing all the kids because they're just so young. They're just young children.
At the school.
Yeah. I'm sad we didn't get to see Jubilee use her powers because she can make fireworks.
Which one is she?
The one who wore the bright yellow jacket.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I know who that is.
Yeah. And Nightcrawler is Mystique's son. Did you know that?
Wait, what?
Nightcrawler, the blue one with the tail, is Mystique's son.
How?
Azazel, the red guy from First Class. He had a tail too, I think.
No, but like she doesn't look old enough to have a son that age.
Well, she can make her appearance look however old she wants to look.
Oh.
And Nightcrawler is just like a teenager, I think.
Yeah.
Like in that movie.
Yeah, I knew who that was too. I knew Nightcrawler.
Yeah.
But then the other kid is Magneto's son?
Peter?
Yeah.
Yes.
Not Peter Parker. That's Spider-Man.
No, his real name is Pietro, but they call him Peter in this one.
Okay, but did we know before this movie that was that? Is that like in the comic books or whatever?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So that's something they kept in because, you know, they do have, they do change things, you know.
And I'm wondering if they'll do an extended edition of this like they did with Days of Future Past. We should watch the extended edition of Days of Future Past.
Okay, we'll get right on
It
that.
has Rogue in it.
Okay.
And
there was an after the credits scene, so you should make sure to watch that because it was about Wolverine.
And Charles lost his hair. So sad. How did Charles lose his hair? Apocalypse stressed him out a lot, and he just lost it all.
So is that what happened in like the comic books?
I don't remember.
Or did they just like not ever tell us how he lost his hair?
I don't know.
But he like was like all in and shaved his head.
Yeah.
What's his name?
James McAvoy.
Don't you have his picture on your wall?
Yes.
It's an autographed one. She got it for her birthday a couple years ago.
Yeah. And I liked Charles's lilac sweater. See, these are the sort of things I like about this movie. I like his sweater, and I like the children.
I believe that children are our future. Teach them well and let
And I'm
them
sad
lead
Jubilee
the
couldn't
way.
make her fireworks.
Show them all
Her
the
80s
beauty
fireworks.
that possess inside. Give them a sense of pride to make it easier.
Okay, I think we are done talking about movies now.
Laughter remind us how it used to be.
Okay, we're done talking about movies now, and we're done singing.
Otherwise, I love to sing.
Otherwise, this segment is going to be super long because you were going to rant some more later.
Oh my gosh, you guys wait a minute because I'm going to rant. Okay, well, let's talk about these other shows first before I get to my rant one.
So we are rewatching season 2 of Fringe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, enjoying it. There was that one weird episode that was they had aired it at the wrong time. That was a little confusing because the guy was back who had been killed. So confusing. We are rewatching season 3 of Gilmore Girls. So we watched the dance marathon, which I love that episode. Even though Dean and Rory break up, but then Jess and Rory get together. And I was talking with my friend Jilly, Vegan Jilly of the Knitting Broomstick podcast, about this actually just this morning. That for some reason this time in the rewatch, I'm liking Jess more than I used to. And I think it's because, we both said this, that it's because we know that he got his act together in the end. Because you guys know I'm hashtag Team Jess after he got his act together. So, yeah. But I love the fight that Suki and Jackson have, the 4-and-4 fight, and how he blames Lorelai.
You love that.
It's funny. It's so funny. You know, because he's like, you know, well, what do you think about this, Lorelai? Anyway. And Kirk's victory lap.
Mm.
Yeah. And somebody stole his trophy.
And Thanksgiving.
Oh, yeah, we watched the 4 Thanksgivings.
Can we take home a bag of rolls?
Yes.
Yes.
Of course. Okay, and then the hubs and I are rewatching season 5 of Numbers, and that's going well. He and I are also watching season 10 of The Big Bang Theory. So we watched actually 2 episodes. So Leonard and Penny got married again because they had like run off and eloped, and their families were upset about this. And then we watched an episode last night. So they're working on the Leonard and Sheldon and not Raj. What's the other guy's name? Howard are working on this secret government project. And so now it's like in this classified area, and they have to do a retinal scanner. And they were like, so it was. Yeah, they were like, oh, let's see if it works, you know. And then they were like, 2 people stand together so that like this eye, and it wouldn't let them in. And then Howard's like, turn me upside down, and so they like lift him up and turn him upside down to see if the retinal scanner would be able to. And it did. It did work. It was kind of funny. But anyway, I got a kick out of that. Why don't you talk about the next thing?
Okay, season 4 of Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. has started. There is Robbie Reyes, Ghost Rider. Reyes. Why did I say Reyes?
Reyes.
Robbie Reyes.
Yes.
I don't know how to say his name.
Reyes.
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 Robbie.
Yes. I did like that Fitz and Simmons are together. Mm-hmm. But I'm very sad, like the team's like all broken up, and it makes me very sad.
Oh, and the evil spirit thingy that is in the box.
Yeah.
I think it's infected May, because she's like seeing zombie versions of people.
Yes.
Ooh. Spooky.
Yep. And we have another episode to watch tonight.
Mm-hmm. So, here you go.
Are you guys ready for my rant?
Take the mic.
Now, you guys know, if you've been watching for a while, how much I love NCIS.
Naval Crime Investigative Services.
I've been watching it since it started, when you were a wee child.
I was but an infant.
This is season 14, so you were 3, or almost 3 when it started. The intro, the credits at the beginning. For a while now, several seasons now, they've had the scene of McGee getting in the elevator and pretending like it's a rocket launch.
Why?
Because it was funny.
No, but why was he doing it?
I don't know. I don't remember. But it was funny, and I loved it. They took it out of the credits!
She doesn't like change.
They took it out. And I was like, I was ready because I always do it. I do when he does it. And it was gone. And I went.
They're there.
And kind of stopped breathing for a little while. And the Hubs and Dammy were like, okay, you've got to breathe. And I was like, but they took it away. And then there's new people. And I miss Tony. And I miss Ziva. And I miss Kate.
Kate has been dead for several seasons.
But you know why I'm especially missing them? Because while the Hubs and I were on our 19th anniversary trip, we had TV. And we don't have, we stream everything here. We don't have TV. Now, I don't miss the commercials because, hello, ridiculous. But we watched several old episodes of NCIS because they were on. And so I saw them. I saw Ziva. I saw Tony. I saw Kate. And I missed them. And I'm not sure how I feel about these 2 new agents. Because now, where is this other 4th and 5th agent going to sit? There's only 4 desks in the bullpen.
Okay.
What are they going to do? Oh, is somebody just going to have to, sit in the middle of the floor?
Well, I'm sure Bishop wouldn't mind doing that.
I'm distraught.
Okay. It's going to be
sad.
okay.
I'm very sad.
Okay.
I'm very sad.
I know.
We have a new episode of it to watch, too.
Yes. Maybe fan backlash over What's his name?
McGee.
No, his real name. He's related to Donald Belisario. David, Donald, something. Well, whoever it is, maybe it'll be
Sean
something. Maybe there'll be so much backlash over taking that scene out of the credits that they'll just be like, okay, we've put it back in for you.
Okay, here's my other pet peeve right now. I've updated to iOS 10, and hello Siri, you need to learn, if I type the letter I in the search, 99.9% of the time, I am wanting IMDb, not iMovie, or whatever. No, I need to search.
I was hitting search.
Oh, no, it sent us over into the... What am I looking for? I'm looking for NCIS. I know some of you are, like, yelling at me what the... Come on, where are you not working? Yelling at me what his name is. Sean something. Sean. Come on, load fast. Do you not know that we are trying to record a podcast here? IMDb, why aren't you working with me? Come on. Load. Okay. Sean Murray.
Okay. I think that's enough about that NCIS.
Hubs and I are also watching NCIS New Orleans Season 3, and Brody just left. Like, we had no idea that she was leaving. And it actually was something, because, you know, I had to get on the interwebs and, like, go, why did she leave? We didn't know she was leaving. And apparently there was, like, some in real life, like, drama.
It's like creative differences. That doesn't always
differences.
mean, like, drama.
And so she's gone. Gone. And then we're watching Season 2 of Blind Spot, and we learned that Weller is going to be a father. Mm-hmm. And Jane's brother drugged her, and the team dynamics are really bad because they don't trust each other.
Nothing could go wrong here.
No. Do you want to talk about the next one, since I've been, like, ranting for a little while?
Sure, we are watching Season 4 of The Blacklist. So... Lizzie was kidnapped by her father. That happened at the end of last season. And an evil man who works for Lizzie's father kidnapped Agnes. Yeah, I felt like this whole episode was like a whole back and forth thing. It was like, oh, they're gonna get out, but oh no, they're back and trapped again. And oh, they're gonna get away, but oh no, they're trapped again.
I agree.
Yeah, and the team is feeling betrayed because Lizzie faked her death.
Yeah, especially, what's her name? The lady on the team. Did I not just tell you a few minutes ago how bad I am at names? What am I looking at? Blacklist. 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 Come on. Load. What's her name? Navabi.
Yeah.
Samar Navabi. And then finally, to close out this epically long TV segment, I thought this episode was going to be shorter. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. Because if you're watching our podcast, you know what happens. And so, enjoy. I'm not really sorry. NCIS LA, Season 8. Kinsey was badly injured because the bad guys shot down the helicopter and she got trapped underneath it and they couldn't get her out, and she was bleeding from her leg, like the fracture. It was an open fracture, and they had trouble getting her out, and they finally got her out, and like they were able to, like, the people back in LA, they were able to like send a drone to like scare the bad guys away, and then they came in and got them, and then they got taken to the aircraft carrier, and they did surgery, but she's in a coma, brain injury possibility. They don't know because they don't have an MRI on the aircraft carrier. Deke bought an engagement ring
For
Kinsey prior to all this happening. And then the episode ended. Oh no, this was a double episode, you guys. We got a whole like 90 minutes instead of like 43. Hetty confessed that she's the mole, even though she isn't, to save the rest of the team, because this guy had come in and he like got rid of everybody, and they were having to try to like work behind the scenes to like deal with the bad guy, and Hetty was like, Okay, I'm going to confess. Just so to save my team.
Just because.
Just to save the team.
I think that's all for TV.
That's all for TV. Yeah. So we're gonna take a little break because I'm feeling really worked up after this segment before we record the next one. But we'll be right back.
And now it's time for our September, October, November artistic autumnal cal.
That's right. So this started on the 1st of September and it runs through the 30th of November. It's for any project you knit, crochet, weave, or spin that you can convince us is related to autumn. Mm-hmm. And we're very cheater friendly, so however you want to do it, if you can't think of a way,
you made it in the autumn.
Exactly. No whips are allowed. September 1st or later start date, and you have to finish by the 30th of November. The only exception to that is if you started in August, my Where You Lead I Will Follow socks for the Gilmore Girls cal, as long as you finish them by this Friday, the 30th of September, you can go ahead and add those into the autumnal cal. Mm-hmm. Yes. Feel free to poly dip in other cals. We are so open to that. Please do that. We have lots of lovely prizes. This week we have a new prize. So do you want to tell them about what the new prize is?
Sure. It is an Autumn Leaves project bag from Georgianne, who is Stitching Plaza of the Stitching Plaza.
Yes, her shop is on Etsy. So on the screen right now is a collage of all of our prizes. If you'd like to know more details about them, you can go to our website,
geekygirlsknit.com,
or tune into the first podcast of every month where we talk about them in detail. Every project you finish and put in the FO thread is one entry into the giveaway. You have to be a member of our Geeky Girls Knit podcast group on Ravelry to participate. If you want to use the tag, it's hashtag GGK Autumnal 16. We'll lock the thread the morning of the 1st of December and draw for prize winners on the next podcast. And you'll have 30 days to claim your prize if you are a winner or you forfeit it. There is a chatter thread in our group. And with that, I think we are ready for you to tell us all the people who finished FOs this week.
Yes. A.A. Lauzon, Asteride, Auntie Knits-a-Lot, A.Z. Knitwit, Celeste, Crazy Knitting Fool, D. Frankenfield, Dueling Needles, Eileen D., Feisty Redhead 3, Frymeister, Gothica 101, Hazy Summers, Jammin' to Knit, Kana Soup, Knit Live Love, Knit Princess 83, Cosmic, Lil Angel SG2, Lucy J. Will, Missy K. Schmidt, Mookie Moon 1974, Muzzer Z, Mystery Sower, Nimrus, Penny Gale, POKDEJ, Rainbow Ange, Rue CMC, Shona MCC, Sunday Tea Time, Sylvia 1002, Tavy S80, The Baby Lady 1990, Twisting Pearls, VT Kimmy Kim, and Weeping Wool.
Great job, everybody. So keep up the great work. You have a little over 2 months to keep working on stuff for this cal. All right, we've got another cal to talk about.
And now it's time for our Gilmore Girls cal.
That's right. So this cal is one that we are doing jointly with the lovely Jilly, who is Vegan Jilly of the Knitting Broomstick podcast. If you are not watching her podcast, you should be, because she is hysterical and cracks me up on a daily basis. So this started the 1st of August and it runs through the 30th of September. So just today is the 28th, so 2 days left. By the time this goes live, you'll have 1 day to get your entries in. So it's for any project you knit, crochet, weave, or spin that you can convince us is related to Gilmore Girls. No whips, August 1st or later, start date, and finish by the 30th of September. But feel free to poly dip in other cals as long as it fits with the rules. So every project you finish and post in the FO thread, which is in our group, counts as one entry into the giveaway. You can do a second entry if you did my Where You Lead I Will Follow socks. And there's instructions in the FO thread about that. You have to be a member of both groups, so the Geeky Girls Knit podcast group and the Knitting Broomstick group on Ravelry to participate. The chatter thread for this is in Jilly's group. You have to post your project in the FO thread. Hashtag is hashtag Gilmore, GGKTKB. That's Gilmore, Geeky Girls Knit, the Knitting Broomstick. We'll lock the thread on Saturday, and we'll draw for winners in next week's episode. You'll have 30 days from the date when we announce the winners next week to claim your prize. or you forfeit them, but Jilly will also announce the winners on her podcast. We want to give a shout out again to our prize donors. So let's just do this back and forth again.
Okay. 1 skein of Regia World College color in the exam colorway and 2 Gilmore Girls postcards.
A Lucilla Skull Project bag donated by Julia, who is Nimrus, and 2 Gilmore Girls postcards.
2 Gilmore Girls bookmarks from the Oyam Poodle shop and a copy of CC's Where You Lead I Will Follow socks pattern, or another pattern from Jabber Pearl Designs, if you have that one.
Yes. And next up is a Luke's Diner planner clip from the Oyam Poodle shop. And again, a copy of my Gilmore Girls pattern or another pattern if you already have it.
A skein of Gilmore Girls themed hand-dyed yarn from Shannon of Yarn at Home Mom.
That is the yarnathomemom.etsy.com. A project bag from Trish of Yarn Seller Studios. That's yarnsellerstudio.etsy.com.
A skein of yarn on her sparkles base in the Something About Cece colorway, and 2 stitch markers from Boga of Knitting in France on Etsy.
Yes. And also from Boga, a knitting accessories kit which with stitch markers, a knitting needle holder, a pattern tamer, and an emergency crochet hook.
A project bag and stitch marker set from Michelle of Maple Moose Fibers on Etsy.
A skein of yarn from Michelle Matthias of Misha's Obsession on Etsy in the I Can't, I Have to Study Rory inspired colorway.
2 winners each will win the Rory Gilmore Hat Pattern Series ebook donated by Marjan Lucius Art
on Ravelry.
on Ravelry.
And finally, a limited edition Coffee Gilmore Girls inspired drawstring project bag from George Ann, who is Stitching Plaza of the Stitching Plaza on Etsy. So thank you so much to our prize donors. We appreciate y'all muchly. And next week we'll announce the winners. But before we close out this segment, Dammy, why don't you tell us who's finished projects this week?
Alciana, Army Wife 2102, Blue Eyed Crafty, Celeste, Emily P, Evilly, Feisty Redhead 3, Gray Frog, Jack Saki, Jammin' to Knit, Knit Live Love, Lucy J. Will, Missy K. Schmidt, Mystery Sewer, Pandas Knit 2, Puffy Griffin Claw, Pearls in the Sand, Strings Attached, Sunday Tea Time, Violet Bohemian, and VT Kimmy Kim.
Great job, everybody. So get those projects done and posted by Friday because we'll close the thread Saturday morning. All right, let's move on to the next segment.
And now it's time for Ask the Geeky Girls, the part of our show where you ask us things and we try to answer them.
Yes, so we have a pretty interesting question this week. We had to think about our answers. So why don't you ask the question?
Okay. This question is from Hazel, who is Hazy Summers from Ghana. I've just had 2 cardigans on the needles, one out of Wool Mize Blend, and the other from Souvenir Yarn from Iceland, Einbad, and Plutulopi, unspun, hold together. The first is so deliciously soft and squishy. The second was hot, hairy, and frankly smelly. The hot, hairy, and frankly smelly one is complete now and is drying and blocking. I'm happy with the result. It's warm and light, but it won't get much wear here in Ghana, so I might lend it to my mom until I'm back in Europe full time. What has been your most delicious yarn experience, and which has been most challenging, and why?
So why don't we start with delicious? Do you want to go first? Do you want me to? Okay. My one is one of my favorite shawls that I've ever knit, and I love to wear it. This is my Neon Beast.
Yeah.
And it is a beast. So the yarn, two of the yarns, the yellow and the gray. Where's the part where there's more gray? Oh, down here. There we go. The yellow and the gray are both Rainbow Heirloom Twinkle Light, which is a 50% silk, 50% merino base. And it is so squishy. The pink, which is also squishy, is Madeline Tosh Sock, which is 100% merino.
In the Pop Rocks color.
Yeah, and these two are...
I don't remember what this one, but that one's Fluffy Bunny.
Fluffy Bunny. I think it's Spring Green. No, that may not be right. Anyway. But also, I told y'all earlier, the Gnome Acres that I'm knitting with right now is amazing. It's so squishy. So yeah, I adore this shawl and I love the yarn, and I wear it when it's chilly quite often, which means it's about to get a lot of wear. This is
Wait, no, this is Apparition, not Fluffy Bunny.
Oh, that's right, Apparition and something. Why don't you tell us what yours is while I'm, or do you need to be like looking?
Well, mine is the Coffee Date shawl, which I made out of yours. It's your pattern.
Yes.
And it's all out of rainbow heirloom yarn. Like this one.
But it's not the same base. That's
no,
this one.
It's the Lush Light base, which is alpaca, silk, and cashmere.
Yummy.
It is very soft.
It is so soft.
Very soft.
I love it a lot. I'm trying to get to my Neon Beast, which I know is right down here somewhere. Scrolling, scrolling, scrolling the whole day through. Da, 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 da. Yep, I'll get to it eventually. If I could remember when I get it, that would totally help. I think I'm getting close. There it is. Neon Beast. No, Fluffy Bunny and Almost Spring.
Oh.
Apparition is the one I did with the turquoise and the purple.
Oh. That's the one I used.
Yeah. So
Okay.
So that, I guess what we're trying to say is we really like rainbow heirloom yarn.
Mm-hmm.
But I've knit with an MCN before, merino, cashmere, nylon, and it's yummy. No matter what yarn it is. All right, challenging. Do you want to go first or you want me to?
You.
These right here. These are my floral language socks, and it is knit.
Floral languish.
Because I did languish. This is knit out of Shopple Zauberball, and it is a very splitty yarn.
It's only one ply, isn't it?
But it's got nylon in it, so I don't know how it's only one ply. So did they like add in the nylon and then just split it as a single? I don't know. But also, can you see how, I don't know if you can see how fuzzy. I haven't worn these very many times, and I feel like they're going to have a hole in them very soon. I actually got rid of, I had another skein of it, and I got rid of it because it was a different colorway, because it was such a pain to knit these. I don't know what the base is, what the fiber content is. I should have written that down. Why don't you tell them what yours is while I look?
A couple of my early projects made entirely out of Red Heart acrylic yarn. It wasn't very soft or nice to knit with or wear.
Yeah.
And the stuff I made out of it got yucky really easily.
It's a 75% wool, 25% nylon base. But yeah. So those were the our most challenging and our most delicious yarns. So, but we want to hear from y'all. What has been your most delicious yarn experience, and what has been your most challenging, and why? This was a really good question. I really had to think. I was like, because I've knit with so many scrumptious yarns. There are so many that are just amazing to work with. Yeah. So thank you, Hazy Summers, for the question. Hope we answered it completely. So if somebody has a question for us, what should they do?
Go to the Ask the Geeky Girls thread in our Ravelry group and post it.
That's right. All right, let's move on to the next segment. We made it to the end of the show.
Yay!
I'm not sure how with all the ranting that I did, but we did. Okay, we have a couple of announcements. First up, we're not going to be able to attend this, but if you are in that area, you might want to. The Perth Festival of Yarn is being held on Sunday, the 2nd of October, so that's this weekend, from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. at the Salutation Hotel on South Street, Perth. And this is being hosted by Eva Christie Designs. It's a £3 entry fee. So if you are in the Perth area and don't have anything to do on Sunday, you should check this out. The next announcement is we do have some of the So Say We All Battlestar Galactica inspired sock kits left. So if you have not pre-ordered yours yet, you can do that on my website, our website.
JavaPearlDesigns.com.
And the kits are $62 US plus shipping, and the ship date will be no later than Thursday, the 20th of October. Do we have any other announcements? We'll announce next week the change in the recording schedule for our trip. Okay, well, just a reminder that the 52 Weeks of Charity Cal is ongoing. All the details are in the Ravelry group, and we talk about it in detail on the second podcast of every month. We are so grateful. We love you guys a lot for all the people that help sponsor this podcast and make it happen. A big part of that is our Patreon sponsors, which is a site where you can pledge to support your favorite creatives. And we do have rewards for those different levels. So if that's something you're interested in, you can go to
Patreon.com/GeekyGirlsKnit.
That's right. Do you want to tell them about another way they can help?
On our website, there is a PayPal button in our sidebar if you'd like to make a one-time donation.
Or the other option is if you click through to Amazon.com or .co.uk through our website, everything you buy, Amazon gives us a little money back. And it doesn't cost you any extra, and it's a great way to help support the podcast. That money mostly goes for shipping out prizes because postage is crazy. So if you want to know more about those two things, you can go to our website,
GeekyGirlsKnit.com.
All right, Dammy, I think that is everything for the week. I don't think I have anything else to rant about at this moment. Good. So why don't you tell them where to find us online?
You can find us at GeekyGirlsKnit.com. There are links to everywhere else we are online: YouTube, iTunes, Ravelry, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, etc.
That's right. Well, with that, we're going to tell you goodbye. We hope you have a lovely, non-rant-filled rest of your week. Mm-hmm. And come talk to us in the thread in our Ravelry group about your most delicious and your most challenging yarn projects. And we hope you have a lovely rest of your week. We'll talk to you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Happy knitting. I think I forgot to say that. Happy knitting. Hiya.
Hello.
Welcome to the Geeky Girls Knit podcast.
What's so funny about that?
I don't know. It just feels like we're very giggly to start with. Okay. Hello.
Hello.
And I'm supposed to say hiya. See, now I'm all confused. Maybe we should start over again.